perspective, it's really useful to be able to think about the idea of placing objects within a grid. That way, it's very easy to begin to plot their relative position when you start to see that grid in perspective. Of course, you could think about grids from different angles of view, but it's much easier if you think about the idea of a grid from straight on. We know that we can take a side and we can follow that side through to the horizon, and we can take another side through to the horizon to discover the central vanishing point. We know that each one of those parallels will appear to come to the same vanishing point. The important thing to really understand is that these distances, as well as these distances, are the same. In other words, the square tile here has the same width that this one does, which has the same width that this one does. Obviously this is a smaller distance, but this distance is the same as this, is the same as this, is the same as this. If we know where this is, and we want to place our line here, we could equally divide this line down into an equal number of parts, and then we know we can take lines from our central vanishing point through those parts. The key thing, however, is to understand the depth of this. Now, obviously, this depth is absolutely dependent on our angle of view. I'm just going to show you a really simple way of calculating that depth. A square tile has a diagonal line, and that diagonal line, obviously, if I follow this through here, that diagonal line, not so easy on the black, so I'll start again with that one. I'll do a white one instead. If I draw through that diagonal line, and I draw through this diagonal and this diagonal, if I keep on going, all the diagonals are in line. If I took another set of diagonals, this one for instance, and I drew through those, all of those diagonal lines are in line. And in fact, if we were to take this line to the horizon, we would discover that that would line up with these diagonals and these diagonals.